The Glico-Morinaga Case, Japan 1984 to 1985. This is a real story. Spring 1984. Neon kanji glowed above Osaka's canal, vending machines hummed on every corner, and Japan's economic miracle seemed unstoppable. But beneath the fluorescent prosperity, a new kind of terror was tightening its grip, not political radicals, not Yakuza assassins, but a faceless mastermind who weaponized fear itself, turning chocolate and caramel into instruments of dread. It began with the abduction of Katsuhisa Izaki, president of Glico, the confectionery giant behind Pocky Sticks beloved across the archipelago. Masked men stormed his bathhouse, bound him naked at gunpoint, and stuffed him into a warehouse drum. They demanded 1 billion yen and 100 kilograms of gold. Izaki escaped, but the nightmare was only opening its wrapper. Soon, supermarkets received threats of cyanide-laced candies, shelves emptied overnight, and parents locked lunchboxes away like contraband. Letters arrived taunting, sarcastic, riddled with childish slang signed by a phantom calling itself the monster with 21 faces, a nod to a villain from Edogawa Rampo detective novels. Police mobilized 130,000 officers, chased thousands of tips, but the monster danced ahead, leaking clues like candy drops, poisoning brand trust more lethally than any toxin. For 16 months, Japan's sweetest names, Glico-Morinaga, Marudai, found themselves hostages in a corporate horror show broadcast daily on evening news. Rewards were posted, suspects arrested then released, and one police superintendent took his own life in shame when the monster slipped yet again through cordons of steel. The letters ceased in August 1985, leaving behind empty evidence lockers, scarred balance sheets, and a populace suddenly aware that in a hyper-safe society, terror could still arrive by mail. No arrests, no confessions, only a ghost whose grin haunted product recalls for decades. Tonight we unpack that ghost over 8 chapters, each unwrapping another layer of ransom notes, media frenzy, and forensic missteps. We will walk factory floors quarantined by rumor, decode letters dripping with Kansai dialect humor, and sit in unmarked police vans staking out convenience store drop points. We will ask, who had the skill to orchestrate countrywide panic, the daring to taunt authorities with homeroom pranks, and the silence to vanish without a trace? Organized crime? Stock market saboteurs? Or an inside job wrapped in foil? Keep your palate cleansed. Some sweets leave a bitter aftertaste. And remember, in this real story, every wrapper you open echoes footsteps of a monster still unfound. Chapter 1, Bathhouse Abduction, March 18, 1984, 9:00 p.m. in Nishinomiya Prefecture. Soft steam curled above the tiled private bath of Katsuhisa Izaki, third-generation president of Glico. The air smelled of hinoki cypress and imported bath salts, simple luxuries befitting a man overseeing billions of yen in snack sales. Izaki's wife, Miki, dried their daughter upstairs. Housekeeper locked side gates. Silence settled like warm towel over shoulders. 9:15 p.m. A clatter at the back veranda. Miki assumed wind. Seconds later, 3 men in ski masks burst through. The sliding glass, rubber boots squeaking on tatami. One brandished pistol, another a kitchen knife. The third held lengths of vinyl rope. They moved with choreographed precision, wordless. Upstairs, the daughter screamed. A masked intruder barked, "Yurisai, shut up." The gunman hauled Izaki naked from bath, water sluicing off lean frame, soap suds marking a surreal trail across polished wood. Izaki's father, chairman at the time, emerged from study, confronted the gunman, and was shoved aside within 90 seconds. Izaki lay trussed, gagged with hand towel, shoved into a futon quilt and carried to a delivery van idling in alley. Miki dialed police. Officers arrived within 8 minutes fast, but the van already threaded night streets toward Osaka Bay's industrial wharfs, 11:30 p.m. abandoned warehouse near Sumino Ward. Izaki, stripped and shivering, was lowered into a fiberglass drum large enough to ferment miso paste. Lid slammed. Padlock clicked. Darkness. Chemical odors pricked nostrils. Paint thinner, seawater, iron rust. Through drum vents he heard muffled voices, Kansai dialect, lilting, almost teasing. They demanded 1 billion yen in unmarked bills and 100 kilograms gold. Bars, payment instructions promised later. They fed him caloriumate energy blocks, mocking President San, have some of your competitors' food. March 19, dawn. Thousands of officers fanned across docks. Helicopters combed breakwaters. News bulletins cut regular programming. Snack King kidnapped. Stock market trembled. Glico shares dipped 4 points. Ransom letter arrived by express courier. Blue airmail envelope, blocky handwriting like middle school scrawl. Inside, too. Glico, pay or we poison your candy. We are the monster with 21 faces. No bank coordinates, only a phone number to await next call. March 21. Glico executives prepared ransom. Police installed radio transmitters in bundles, rehearsed sting. Kidnappers phoned, voice electronically distorted, instructing drop at Shinkansen. Locker, Shin Osaka Station. Surveillance teams covered every corridor, but when they opened locker, only cassette tape lay inside. Tape played carnival music, then a recorded voice. Too many cops, game over for now. March 30. Warehouse night watchman at Osaka port heard banging. Investigating, he pried open a drum, finding Izaki alive, ropes gnawed loose, emaciated. Izaki broke free himself after kidnappers left guard light off. He staggered into floodlights, skin rash from fiberglass dust, voice raw. First words, cancel all production. They threaten poison. April, supermarkets reported anonymous calls. Glico candies tainted with sodium cyanide. Police raced down aisles, seized pallets. Laboratories tested 10,000 samples negative. But fear spreads faster than toxins. Sales plummeted 60%. Glico furloughed 450 part-time workers. May 10. Fire erupted at Glico headquarters parking lot 10. Company vehicles torched. A new monster letter. Long time no see. Enjoy the gift. Next we put acid in kid drinks. That night, Osaka TV received 50-second videotape. Shelf camera footage of masked figure placing a Glico bag on store rack. Police traced product code. Factory 5, Shift B production halted again. June, Izaki, recovered, faced reporters. We will not yield to terrorism. 2 days later, monster letter mocked. You're stubborn. Fine, we target Morinaga next. Rival firms trembled. Terror had become viral marketing of fear. Summer heat swelled. Police checkpoints strangled Kansai highways. Citizens mailed 12,000 suspect sightings. None stuck. A composite sketch finally emerged. Stocky man, perm-curled hair, blinking eyes like fox spotted by undercover officers staking out ransom drop. Press nicknamed him Fox-Eyed Man. Sketch plastered stations, yet the man dissolved into crowds. By autumn, corporate paranoia reached fever pitch. Share prices teetered. Japan's media dubbed affair Keiji Jiken the confectionery incident, but Monster's appetite only grew. He peppered letters with sarcasm. Dear dumb cops, you must hate us. Want to give up yet? Always signed. With the Edogawa Rampo-inspired moniker and a cartoonish face scribble. Public pressure crushed morale. Superintendent Yamamoto of Shiga Prefectural Police vowed capture or resignation. December 12th, after yet another failed stakeout, Yamamoto burned charcoal briquettes in his car, ending his life. Monster's response, another death. How sad. We gift you a quit smoking advertisement. The nation lurched from outrage too. Despair, but by New Year 1985, Monster changed tactics, switching from candy to ham, from Osaka to Tokyo, and police discovered their network far wider than imagined. In Chapter 2, we will ride with undercover units through neon labyrinths, decode the monster's Kansai slang for hidden rail timetables, and watch Morinaga executives stare at cyanide labels glued to chocolates under supermarket fluorescents. The sweet taste of fear, it turns out, melts slowly. Chapter 2, Letters That Taste Like Cyanide, January 18, 1985, Tokyo. This real story now grips the capital. Morinaga's Marunouchi headquarters receives a small manila envelope, edges carefully sealed with clear nail polish, a forensic nightmare. Inside, a single Morinaga chocoball foil wrapper, its cheerful penguin mascot text set out in red marker, plus a Xerox message in the monster's taunting block print. We put cyanide in 20 boxes. Children die sweetly. Check for our labels. Monster. With 21 faces, police mobilize before breakfast is swallowed. By AM 12, prefectural departments remove Morinaga stock from 40,000 convenience store shelves. Helicopters relay pallets of candy to temporary labs where white coats in bunny suits pierce chocolate shells with microneedles, searching for the scent of bitter almonds. 3:32 p.m. SI Tomolab Tech gasps. One chocoball tests positive 0.2 G potassium cyanide, nestled like a lethal nugget where caramel should be. Box exterior bears a vanilla white sticker that reads, "Danger, contains toxin, you might die." The monster has placed his own warning, daring customers to believe or ignore. For more contaminated boxes surface in Kyoto, Nagoya, Fukuoka, each sticker identical, printed on cheap home label stock. Police realize the threat is no bluff. A public bulletin flashes across NHK, "Do not eat Morinaga products." Parents dump Halloween season hoards into trash. Shop owners weep as revenue evaporates overnight. Behind flashing cruiser lights, detectives parse language. The monster's latest letter swaps Osaka-style slang for Tokyo wordplay, hinting he's moved east or mocking investigators' dialect profiling. Linguists map honorifics. Irregular mix suggests at least 2 authors, one native Kansai, one Kanto. Task force splits resources, fearing a distributed cell. February 7. A ransom call targets Marudai ham, a mid-sized meat processor, voice modulator. Greats, pay 50 million yen if you don't want your sausages seasoned with cyanide. Executives stall, alert police. Undercover drop planned for Higashi Matsudo Station. At 3:03 a.m. a thug collects ransom bag, flees on Yamaha bike. Unmarked cruisers pursue but collide with staged oil slick on Route 14. Getaway clean. Bag later found abandoned, cash untouched. Monster only needed thrill and humiliation. Task Force Chief Superintendent Yamashita creates 24-hour command center, codenamed Operation Anpan Sweetbread. He floods rails with plainclothes officers, yet stakeouts produce only fuzzy CCTV frames, stocky male baseball cap, perm-tight curls framing fox-like eyes, same phantom from Glico drop. March, newspapers print monster letter number 26, dripping. Sarcasm, 2 stupid police dogs, did you enjoy chasing shadows? Our next recipe, cyanide soft cream. Hope you like vanilla. Grocery chains across Honshu install metal detectors at loading docks. Sales of all confectionery drop 25%. Share prices plummet. Economists warn candy panic could shave 0.1% off GDP. Television commercials pivot to savory chips, abandoning threatened sweets. The monster wields macroeconomic power with schoolyard glee. April 10. Police trace a label printing purchase. 2 Ikebukuro Station kiosk. CCTVs catch fox-eyed man buying coffee. He boards Tohoku Shinkansen. Car 7. Detectives scramble on board at Omiya. The man vanishes between cars, leaving only vending machine cups still warm. Seat neighbor recalls faint chemical smell on his gloves, maybe potassium ferricyanide used in photo labs. April 22. Another letter, package mailed from Kobe, directs investigators to a drainage culvert near Ashia. They find a cassette tape. Audio, children singing Kagum Kagum, traditional playground song about a bird trapped in a cage. In background, distant factory whistle marks 9 p.m. Glico's Osaka plant siren matches that tone. Police raid the perimeter, discover no intruder but find a payphone receiver taped open with chewing gum pumping dial tone, a decoy stretching resources. May undercover officer Kawabata spots fox-eyed man outside Iwatsuki supermarket at AM and marked unit approaches. Suspect accelerates in silver Toyota Crown. High-speed chase crosses Arakawa River embankment, but a refrigerated truck accidentally jackknifes two-block pursuit. Truck driver later claims brake failure. Engineers find lines severed with. Surgeon precision cut, fox eyes gone. June, monster letter 32. Police, you cannot govern taste. We feed on your panic. Want to see us again? Come to Lake Biwa fireworks. Bring binoculars. Thousands of officers deploy disguised as festival goers. Fireworks explode over black water. Amid crowd, an officer glimpses fox-eyed man lighting cigarette. He signals takedown, but throngs surge. Suspect melts away, leaving behind a candy wrapper floating like confetti, glyco-almond chocolate. Throughout summer 1985, the monster's tempo slows. Letters space out, tone weary, as if game grows boring. Task force overtime budget bleeds. Morale phrase, yet Superintendent Yamashita vows, no second suicide. He rotates shifts, offers counseling. Still, the nation flinches every time a child unwraps candy. August 7, Osaka Mainichi Shimbun receives final. Monster with 21 faces says goodbye. Summer is hot, tired of this business. If police don't catch us, we won and it's fun. Farewell. No more letters, no more poisoned boxes, no arrest. The monster evaporates, but residue remains. $350 million lost in combined sales, public faith punctured, and a new corporate security paradigm. In Chapter 3, we'll enter police war rooms after the monster ghosts away, examine suspects from ex-Yakuza chemists to disaffected candy factory engineers, and watch analysts cross-stitch timelines that almost snared a phantom but ultimately missed by a single vending machine coffee cup. Chapter 3, Inside the War Room, August 10, 1985, 3 days after the monster's so-called farewell. At Osaka Prefectural Police HQ, fluorescent tubes buzz above a rectangular war room lined with corkboards. Pushpins skewer maps of rail lines, supermarket chains, postbox locations, chemical suppliers, coffee dregs congeal in paper cups. Air carries equal parts cigarette haze and defeat. Superintendent Yamashita, the man who swore no more suicides, paces barefoot. His polished shoes lie abandoned beneath a projector cart, as if leather could no longer shoulder shame. On the far wall, a fresh banner reads, Operation 21 Faces Phase 2. The monster may have announced retirement, but Yamashita knows predators often lull prey before the final pounce. He orders every unsolved thread rewound and re-examined. The task force, once 130,000 strong, has shrunk to 300 exhausted detectives, but every remaining soul bears the sting of nationwide ridicule. 1. The fox-eyed man board centerpiece of Phase 2. 8 grainy photos enlarged to a 3, all snapped between May and July 1985. Vending machine reflection, festival crowd, toll booth CCTV, highway patrol dash cam. Facial recognition software is still a future dream. Detectives rely on analog squinting, common hallmarks, stocky build 173 cm, permed hair hugging ears, narrow eyes that apex upward like a fox. Forensic artist overlays features. Probability. Estimate suggests a single individual appears in 6 of 8 photos. Detective Kimura cross-references automobile registration logs. The silver Toyota Crown from the Arakawa chase was reported stolen hours earlier, abandoned next day outside a Nagoya pachinko parlor. Fingerprints wiped, but a trace of machine oil residue matches a lubricant sold only by one Osaka manufacturer, Takeo Heavy Industries, whose employee roster includes 27 mechanics matching Foxside Height Range 2 Chemical Supply Matrix Lieutenant. Mizuno compiles every purchase of potassium cyanide KCN and sodium cyanide NaCN since March 1984. Industrial usage justifies hundreds of tons per year electroplating, mining, but only 7 Kensai firms procure KCN in kilo-scale lab packs suitable for food tampering. One purchaser stands out: Sayama Research Services, a shell company with post office box address, 3 employees, and inconclusive tax filings. Invoice dates align within 48 hours of each poisoned candy discovery. A raid on Sayama's rented warehouse yields empty reagent drums, discarded label stock identical to monster warning stickers, and a pallet of vending machine coffee cups, no fingerprints. Records show Sayama's rent paid in cash by a courier wearing surgical mask matching height and gait of Fox-eyed man. 3. The insider theory analyst Kobayashi reviews thousands of employee files from Glico-Morinaga Marudai. One name resurfaces: Mitsuo, former Glico distribution driver, fired in 1982 for theft of chocolate inventory. In 1983, he briefly temped at Morinaga's Saitama plant, quit after 3 months. Payroll address in Takatsuki now vacant. E's driver license photo shows slight resemblance to Fox-eyed man's, same lifted eye corners, though hair straighter in 82. Police issue a bolo, but vanished from family registry 2 years earlier, officially missing. Kobayashi. Highlights schedule overlaps. Known locations precede monster letters by 1 to 2 weeks. Invoices from Sayama list truck rentals under alias Ito. Coincidence or taunt? 4. Yakuza cross-talk section organized crime. Denies active role, they dislike publicity that scares consumers, go profits, yet wiretaps catch low-level Yamaguchi Gumi lieutenant boasting, "We feed candy to cops while monster steals bacon." Could be bravado, but Yakuza networks rent vehicles, launder cash services a rogue cell might leverage. Detectives note Yamaguchi Gumi turf overlaps vending machine chase routes, a confidential informant codename. Claims ex-chemistry student nicknamed Professor supplies poisons to whomever pays. Professor once sold cyanide-laced cigarettes for gang extortion. Physical description: stocky, perm hair, quick eyes. Provides izakaya bar location. Surveillance team waits 2 nights. Target no shows. 5. Market manipulation hypothesis economist consultant Dr. Sachiko Nato. Overlays stock price volatility with monster letter dates. Pattern: major short selling positions executed via came unregistered funds 1 to 2 days before each threat. Closing positions after public panic nets cumulative profit exceeding 3 billion yuans. Account signatory hidden by nominee directors. But wire transfers end at Tokyo branch of Tsuoto Bank under company Emi Consulting, initials again haunting. Yamashita contemplates a suspect or group skilled in finance, chemistry, logistics, dialect mimicry, and psychological warfare. The monster may indeed wear 21 faces, team of specialists rather than lone fox. The slip that almost broke the case: August 20, 1985. Inside a 24-hour coin laundry west of Kobe, a night janitor discovers a discarded work jacket. Label reads Takeo Heavy Industries. Pockets contain used train ticket from Osaka to Kyoto dated August 7, the day of monster's final letter. Fabric carries chemical stain consistent with potassium ferricyanide. Surveillance tapes show a stocky man entering at AM, removing Jacket, stuffing it into washer, but abandoning when machine swallows coins. Unfortunately, camera resolution too poor for face. Police raid Takeo workshop among 400 workers. Forfeit physical profile. All claim alibis. Payroll reveals overtime. Shift logs forged for one mechanic Kazuo Inoue covering times matching ransom drops. Inoue vanishes before police arrive. Neighbors recall removal truck loading household goods midnight prior. Vehicle traced to rental agency using alias MI again. Yamashita initiates nationwide manhunt, but Inoue dissolves like sugarin. Task force morale sinks. Public has shifted focus to the Plaza Accord currency crisis, terror fatigue replacing candy fear. Autumn 1985, the files cooling by October, no new letters, no new sightings. Financial markets stabilize, candy returns to shelves, though Glico and Morinaga sales remain 12% below pre-crime averages. Insurance premiums for food industry sabotage triple. Tamper-evident packaging becomes standard overnight inside. War room, corkboards yellow, pushpins rust, budget cuts loom. Yamashita orders boxes sealed for archiving, but quietly instructs Kobayashi to keep one desk active, just in case. Kobayashi spends evenings indexing every monster phrase. One linguistic quirk nags him, use of children's slang Omera. Henna name Yana, you guys have weird names, appears only in Kensai arcade subculture of 1970 seconds, specifically near Suita City where once lived. He files note. Years later, 1990, DNA becomes investigative gold. Scientists test saliva on monster envelope flaps degraded, inconclusive. In 2001, it re-examines Foxide photo with computer enhancement, reveals surgical scar on suspect's left chin. Hospital records show Inoue treated for jaw fracture 1980, another ghost lead. Yet the monster remains legend, fueling manga, films, and criminology lectures. Task Force disbands 2000. Statute of Limitations lapses 2000 for kidnapping, 2010-4. Tampering case forever unsolved, but there is one last ember. In Chapter 4, we travel to 2019 Tokyo where a food safety AI flags an online marketplace seller offering vintage Morinaga boxes with cyanide warning stickers for collectors. The seller's email trace points toward a dormant account linked to Emi Consulting. Kobayashi, now retired, receives a midnight call. The monster might be vending nostalgia. Some candies never lose their poison. Chapter 4, Candied echoes on the dark market Tokyo, April 2019, Heisei era's final spring. Cherry blossoms shedding digital snowflakes across every timeline, while tourists swarm Nakameguros. Canal for flawless selfies. A machine learning model housed deep inside Japan's food safety center churns through terabytes of e-commerce listings. The AI project name Koshin hunts counterfeit best before stamps, illegal puffer fish cuts, even radiation-tainted mushrooms sneaking out of restricted Fukushima zones. One quiet Tuesday, its neural net flags something stranger. A seller on a retro collectibles marketplace offering vintage real story Morinaga chocoballs, limited 1985 cyanide edition. Listing photo shows an unopened candy box, edges yellowed by time but unmistakably bearing the monster's infamous sticker danger, contains toxin. Description reads, authentic artifact from the greatest unsolved mystery. Not for eating, only display. Provenance guaranteed. A second photo reveals aluminum foil wrapper inside, pristine penguin mascot still bright, Koshin ranks alert. Severity 9/10. Possible food tampering, nostalgia gear or worse resurgence copycat. Protocol dictates human review. Analyst Taui Tanaka, 29, click opens seller profile. Username, me21. Joined platform 8 weeks earlier, 0 feedback, but account email uses domain meconsult.co.jp, the shell company flagged by Operation 21 Faces decades ago. Tanaka searches corporate registry, Emic Consulting dissolved 1991. Domain re-registered 2018 to offshore privacy service. Blood hammers her ears. She fires escalation to Consumer Affairs Agency and almost on impulse attaches the old police. Case number. Servers route a silent ping to Osaka Prefectural Police long dormant mailbox. At T117 that night, retired analyst Kobayashi once Operation 21E's linguistic bulldog, now 70 and half-deaf, wakes to buzzing flip phone. Current duty officer stammers, "Sir, your name is on legacy contact list. We may have live activity." Kobayashi's pulse, sluggish for years, spikes. He flips bedside lamp, sees dust dancing like decades lost, the monster, a ghost that stole. His youth might be blinking again. He drives through empty Hanshin Expressway tunnels to Osaka HQ, escorted to a conference room now sleek with glass touch screens. Young cyber detectives brief him. The seller's IP resolves to dynamic addresses bouncing through Tor, but occasional misroute reveals a fiber node in Nara Prefecture. Payment instructions lead not to crypto, but an anachronistic demand. Cash on personal pickup, no cops. Pickup coordinates: a rural rest stop off Route 169, midnight, April 20. Task Force reforms under codename Echo Candy. They invite Kobayashi as consultant. He requests files sealed 19 years. Within hours, cardboard crates line the room. Monster letters, fox-eyed photos, invoice copies from Sayama Research, the never-resolved Toyota Crown Chase logs. Young techs digitize brittle onion skin papers, shading edges so OCR can guess Kansai slang. Kobayashi pours over me 21 listing text. A phrase jumps: "We still feed police puppies. The monster once taunted. We feed candy to police dogs." Same unusual metaphor. He overlays letter frequencies, linguistic fingerprinting graphs align like twin seismograms. April 20 arrives. Rain drizzles on cedar-lined Route 169. Undercover vans ring the rest stops gravel lot, marked Prius. Sedans, black stepwagon bristling with RF gear, a vending truck fronting as ramen noodle delivery. A female detective poses as buyer, vintage toy blogger, cash-in tote, midnight ticks. Cicadas drone, headlights slice mist as silver Toyota Crown, an antique earlier than most officers, rolls in, parking near vending machines. Driver, stocky. Male, baseball cap, surgical mask. Even through night vision lens, eyes appear narrow, slightly up-tilted. The detective greets him softly. Man produces a showbox wrapped in department store ribbon. She glimpses inside, 2 Choco-Ball boxes, identical stickers. She asks provenance. The man's accent slips between neutral Kanto and faint Kansai twang. Family estate sale, price 100,000 yen. She hands envelope. Signal phrase over mic, "Sweet enough for you?" SWAT units converge. The arrest is silent, efficient. Mask pulled off reveals a man of about 55, crew-cut gray hair, surgical scar on left jawline, prints match none in national database. But DNA swab returns familial match to Kazuo Inoue, Teiko Industries mechanic who vanished 1985. Suspect refuses name. Lawyers up, interrogation room. Bright strip lights, steaming instant coffee. Suspect finally speaks, voice calm. "I am only a collector." Statute of limitations passed. Detectives counter with charge of potential public endangerment cyanide threat. Forensics open Choco-Ball boxes in hazmat hood. Candies replaced with plaster replicas filled with harmless powdered sugar. A joke or proof he holds the recipe. Investigators tear through suspect's Nara farmhouse. In cluttered shed they find desktop PC air-gapped, running DOS pager software circa 1993. Hard drive stores scan copies of every monster letter. One folder labeled pass contains raw text. to Glico-198 for draft Plan A, abduct president, Plan B, cyanide brand suicide. Metadata shows edits by Amito. They find a rusted label printing machine, rolls of blank sticker stock, 3 glass vials labeled Naken, 1 half full. DNA on vials matches suspect. When confronted, he requests a cigarette. Lighting it, he murmurs, "Foxes tire of running." Press embargo holds for 48 hours while police verify chain of evidence. Kobayashi sits opposite suspect again. This time bringing faded photo from 1985 toll booth, the fox-eyed man. He places it on table. The likeness is undeniable. Same scar, same eyes. Is this you? Suspect exhales smoke, a shadow from bubble era. He refuses further comment. Psych profilers suggest motive shifted from extortion to ideology. Self-styled vigilantes punishing corporate greed. Yet economist Dr. Nato's 1985 stock manipulation data returns police cyber unit traces Cayman funds to dormant account resurrected 2017, caching derivatives that spiked after news of listing arrest. If suspect part of network, some accomplice. Still monetizes fear. Legal snarl looms. Kidnapping, poisoning charges expired, but weapons-grade cyanide possession remains current. Prosecutors build case, media frenzy ignites, Glico monster caught. Opinion splits, some cheer closure. Others feel uneasy. One arrest cannot wear 21 faces. During custody, suspect attempts suicide by swallowing concealed cyanide pellet foiled by quick-reacting guard. Hospitalized, he whispers delirious phrases, sweet like betrayal. Professor taught me dosage. 3 of us left. He dies within hours. Autopsy confirms cyanide. Final body count rises again. Task force searches for 3. Left email logs on suspect's PC show scheduled drafts to 2 addresses. Yere Hamada at ProtonMail and 21 last face at 2ta.io. Subject remember Lake Biwa. Time triggered to send May 1st. Cyber unit intercepts, empties message, game restarts, prize same candy, coordinates included, Kyoto Station coin locker, detectives find locker empty except for a single foil wrapper, sticker, goodbye for real this time. Case seems to slip back into smoke. Kobayashi, now exhausted, stands on Osaka Bridge watching neon ripple. He wonders if network purposely sacrificed suspect to satisfy public. Monster's real mastermind could be sipping vending machine coffee. Laughing at revival marketing, he meets Aoi Tanaka, the analyst whose AI flagged listing at an izakaya down Shinsabashi Alley. Greasy lantern glow, grilled yakitori scent, steam fogging plastic flaps. They discuss machine learning, linguistic quirks, generational terror. Tanaka's algorithm still scrapes online chatter, picks up bizarre haiku Twitter bots referencing. Sweet cyan nightingales. Kobayashi leans forward. The original letters hid numeric pattern in syllables of mock haiku sign-offs. Tanaka agrees to feed bot output into pattern matcher. Dawn approaches. Kobayashi pockets final photocopy of Monster's first letter. His pinky traces phrase, "Try to catch me, fool police." He feels neither anger nor yearning, just perplexing companionship with phantom he chased for half-life. He mutters, "Maybe some monsters cannot retire because we won't let them." In Chapter 5, Aoi's machine learning sieve reveals a 21 account. Botnet orchestrated by a user in Singapore using legacy and DT dial-ups leading to an ex-stockbroker whose trading spikes mirror 1985 short-selling pattern. The chase pushes the real story onto fiber optic frontiers, proving corporate terror can evolve from candy aisles to cryptocurrency ledgers, and the monster's 21 faces might now be masks of code. Chapter 5, Botnet of 21 Voices, May 6, 2019, the first business Monday of Reiwa. Japan's newborn imperial era. In a glass tower overlooking Otamachi's forest of banking logos, data scientist Aoi Tanaka stares at Koshin's feeds flooding her 3-monitor rig. Overnight, the algorithm flagged 117 new tweets from accounts created within the last 48 hours. Each handle pairs 2 random sweets Pakidefaku, Hichitiaki, Apolodango, and each account posts a single haiku every 3 minutes. Always at precisely the 21-second mark, Sweet Night, Cyan Rain Pullus Pups Sniff Chocolate Fearfox Moon Hides again. Hashtags are nonsense, but embedded in the tweet metadata, Tanaka uncovers a breadcrumb. The GPS field is spoofed yet all in code. Truncations of 17.42. 12.84, 33.6 numbers that echo the syllabic counts investigators once extracted from monster letters. Her pulse climbs. She feeds the tweets into a Markov matching tool seated on the monster's 1984-85 corpus. Stylometric overlap scores 0.9 for practically a genetic match in linguistic DNA. She loops in Osaka HQ via encrypted teleconference. Retired analyst Kobayashi squints behind thick lenses while sipping canned coffee at AM. The freaks learned to code, he mutters. Detective Supervisor Matsuda, Yamashita's successor, authorizes a full cyber trace. Tanaka's team scrapes follower lists. Every bot sits in a tight mesh, 21 core accounts retweeting each other, surrounded by 210 dummy follows, server logs. Ping to a Singapore collocation facility rented by Mizashima Investments Ltd. She cross-matches with Cayman funds from Dr. Nato's 1985 stock manipulation research. Paper trail leads further. Mizashima, registered by ex-Tokyo Stock Exchange floor trader Hiroto Mizashima, dismissed 1986 for insider tips, vanished during bubble collapse 1992. Interpol request returns. Mizashima re-emerged in Singapore 2003 as high-frequency trader, specialty commodity futures. Weekly volumes spike the day suspect in OA died in custody. Correlation stings. Task Force codename Echo Candied dispatches liaison to Singapore police force. Meanwhile, Tanaka maps tweet timing against Nikkei derivative movements. Every bot burst precedes a sell short order on Morinaga and Glico by milliseconds. Algorithmic black comedy echo of 1985, May 9 Singapore. A joint trade storms a nondescript shophouse server farm. Racks of GPUs howl under fluorescent tubes. Cables snake like licorice vines. Engineers freeze as officers seize drives. Atop a desk sits a framed 1984 Glico-Paki advertisement, glass cracked, edges singed. In the bathroom, detectives find potassium ferricyanide crystals in reagent bottles. Yet Mizashima is gone. CCTV shows him leaving dawn of May 7th, carrying only a laptop. Passport traces log exit to Chanji, Haneda, arriving Tokyo just as Tanaka's algorithm posted the second alert. The monster is back on home soil. Kobayashi hunches over old railway maps. He recalls monster's fondness for trains and lockers. He circles Haneda's monorail link, Kikyu line, then side notes a memory. In 1985, a tipster claimed Fox-eyed man bought coffee at Ueno station minutes before a ransom call. Kobayashi calls Matsuda. Set eyes on Ueno, Shinagawa coin lockers. Look for a man who still trusts the past. May 11, 22:21 p.m. Plainclothes officer Fujimoto sips bottled milk tea beside Ueno's locker row. At 21, her radio app beeps. Tanaka has posted real-time predictions. Possible drop-in tomb in a stocky man with perm-tight graying curls strides up, slips a padded envelope into locker 5-21, spins dial. He wears disposable white mask, standard pollen season camouflage, but Fujimoto glimpses Joss' car. Surveillance drones track him onto Yamanote platform, hand signal. Detectives converge. Suspect notices tail, ducks into carriage, leaps out. As doors shut, leaving officers inside, he sprints through ticket gate. Backup collides with rush hour crowd, another Houdini, but the envelope remains. Bomb squad deploys robot inside. USB drive for Chocoball replicas, 1 real candy-laced. With 0.3 grams cyanide verified by field test. USB holds video file, grainy camcorder shot of a darkened apartment. A distorted voice recites, police puppies, gum chewing. Game restarts at Tokyo Sweets Festival. Count the faces, profit is sugar. Attached text file lists 21 cryptic stock. Codes and timestamps 8 hours ahead. Market open. Tanaka decodes codes. Each ticker and options contract symbol on Osaka exchange. She alerts FA. Within hours regulators suspend affected options. Monsters profit channel strangled. Furious botnet unleashes new haiku, mocking regulators. Bitter band tastes dull puppies steal my candy. Cash next dose has no cure behind sarcasm. Tanaka spots plain text steganography. First syllables form railway directions. Tsuoto. Rapid Kichijoji Inakashira PM. Task Force sets snare. May 13, 14:55 p.m. Rain patters on Inakashira Park, Swanboat Lake. Detectives mingle with umbrella couples. 15:03 Foxside suspect appears, metal briefcase swinging. He pauses near vending machine, removes Chocoball box, places on top. A child runs toward machine. Fujimoto intercepts, buys child juice instead. Team moves. Suspect sees, bolts. Foot chase weaves through sakura petal carpets over wooden footbridge. He tosses briefcase into lake, dives into pedal boat queue, disappears. Divers recover case. Inside old Morinaga promotional penguin plush, stomach slit open, holding flash drive and 20 grams cyanide crystals, flash drive encrypted. Cyber unit cracks it using passphrase Tanaka derives from bot haiku acrostic, guru Japanese onomatopoeia for spinning. Files reveal Python bots, trading API keys, and draft letters titled 21 Faces High Siphonale, text, content, threat. To poison candy at Sweets Expo 2019 Osaka, opening June 1st. If regulators do not reverse option freeze, public disclosure could nuke Expo. Government begs for silence. Matsuda authorizes undercover sweep of supplier lists. They discover suspicious order for 5 kilograms sodium cyanide placed by Suji Specialty Chemicals, delivered to warehouse in Suita City, childhood home of Mitsuo. May 20 to 11 am. SWAT breaches warehouse. Inside, acrid chemical fumes sting lungs. They find rows of confectionery replicas, automated labeling machine churning danger stickers, on rolling cart, fresh 3D printed molds of new expo. Mascot cookies. In back office, corkboard holds black and white portrait of Superintendent Yamamoto, the 1985 suicide circled in red. Post-it reads, "Justice overdue." Clock on wall stops at 21:21. Server rack still warm. Remote wipe in progress. Forensics. Salvage 1 file. Last face. MP4 time stumped current hour. Video shows Foxside man in shadow. Altered voice. "Sweet pups, you muzzle my fortune, so I muzzle your expo. Open at Suita Stadium. Fine, enjoy sodium. Countdown overlay 12 days. Government deliberates cancellation. Canceling equals succumbing. Proceeding risks massacre. Matsuda proposes covert tamper-proof packaging sweep. Every expo vendor must pass X-ray gates. Organizers agree but keep plan classified. Meanwhile, Tanaka's AI hunts remote connections from wiped server. It pings back to Singapore host and to an unexpected domestic IP and assisted living home in Nara Prefecture, where Fumiko Inoue, widow of vanished mechanic Kazuo, resides. Undercover agents interview Fumiko, mild dementia clouding eyes, yet she murmurs, "Kazuo? Still chasing sweets? He owes Mitsu a promise." She recalls visiting her husband and his friend Professor Mitsu at warehouse in 1984, hearing them laugh about teaching greedy companies a lesson. She hands detectives old Polaroid, Kazuo Mitsuo, and younger man resembles current Fox-side suspect labeled Hiro-chan. Tanaka overlays faces. Fox-side man aligns with Hiroto Mizashima. The triangle closes. Chemical theft, Kazuo Inoue mechanic, Hiroto finance. The surviving shareholder in Terror Cooperative, May 28. Singapore police locate Mizashima's last credit card charge. Narita Hotel. Hotel cam shows him boarding Narita Express wearing tourist bucket hat. He may plan final act on Expo opening day. June 1, Osaka, Suites Expo grand opening. Security lines stretch. X-ray tunnels hum. Inside, 100,000 visitors. Sample matcha Kit Kats. Hidden within crowd, 500 plainclothes officers. Mid-afternoon, Tanaka receives Koshin ping. New bot tweet pattern forms letters SAKURAGAWA. She zooms expo map. Sakuragawa River tunnel under hall. See houses, refrigerant pipes. SWAT. Scrambles. 14:21. Officers find Mizashima crouched beside maintenance hatch, pouring white powder into ventilation intake. Fujimoto tackles. Powder scatters. Hazmat tests sodium chloride dyed white. Dummy. Mizashima smirks. Salt stings too, but briefcase near hatch contains sealed vial of cyanide and remote aerosol sprayer. Catastrophe averted. Interrogation. Mizashima admits to 2019 plot, denies 1984-85. Forensics match his DNA to envelope flaps from original monster letters, 98% probability. Statute of limitations shields murder attempts, but terror financing and current poison charge stick. Public finally hears headline: Monster with 21 faces, suspect arrested after 35 years, yet court battles may drag. Mizashima's lawyers claim coercion, dementia, and echoes remain to accomplices dead or missing. Stock profits hidden in crypto wallets. Fanatics online praising Monster as anti-corporate Robin Hood. Kobayashi retires again, watching neon reflect in half-drunk. Whiskey. Tanaka stands beside river where Izaki once escaped drum. Feeling cool wind ripple yukata sleeves. Wonders if AI now wears 22nd face. In Chapter 6, trial reveals flashbacks. Kidnapped Izaki's testimony never made public. New letters mailed too. Jurors threatening caramel justice. The monster story refuses its final wrapper, proving that in a real story some candies stay bitter forever. Chapter 6, Caramel Justice and Courtroom Shadows, June 2020. Osaka District Court, Camphorwood. Panels echo with camera shutter clicks while bailiffs glare like museum guards. At the defense table sits Hiroto Mizashima, hair now prison-cropped, jaw scar accentuated by harsh fluorescent downlights. The indictment list scrolls across courtroom monitors: attempted mass poisoning, terror finance, conspiracy to manipulate. Markets, statute-barred charges from 1984-85 hover like ghosts unspoken, yet every spectator knows what truly stands trial: the monster with 21 faces and the terror that once made children fear chocolate. Prosecution Exhibit A. DNA-matched saliva from 1984 ransom envelope flaps. Exhibit B. Botnet trading logs mirroring 1985 short-selling pattern. Exhibit C. Cyanide sprayer seized at Suites Expo 2019. Defense counters with twin shields. Statute of limitations and reasonable doubt. They argue sample chain of custody gaps. Claim botnet scripts doctored. Insist Mizashima's 2019 antics are mere performance art satirizing corporate greed, not proof of 1980-era crimes. But prosecution wields a surprise witness, Katsuhisa. Izaki, now silver-haired, stooped behind cane, yet voice firm. Public never heard his full captivity account. Corporate image once demanded silence. Today he recounts 3 masked kidnappers: driver Kazuo, chemist Mitsu, and leader called Hiro. He remembers Hiroshima dialect sneaking through. Kansai slang recalls Hiro humming the same Edogawa Rampo theme that later leaked in monster letters. Jury leans forward. Mizashima studies desk grain. Outside courthouse, fans of true crime live stream analysis. Meme hashtags real candidature. Hashtag caramel justice trend worldwide. Glico stock blips again. Market still jumpy 2 decades old trauma day. 9. Court clerk opens mailbag, fan letters, hate mail, and one nondescript padded envelope bearing no return address, postage from Saitama. Inside 2 Morinaga chocoballs, each bearing age danger sticker, plus note typed on early 80s JIS typewriter. Dear boring jurors, eat and see if police pups did their job. Monster with XX1 faces forensic lab discovers both candies are inert, sugar swapped for salt plus gelatin mix, but fear requires no toxin. Jurors flinch, judge orders sequestration, media explode, monster strikes from prison, or copycat. Cyber unit traces postage kiosk to convenience store camera footage. Elderly woman in sun hat mail stamps package. Analysts zoom she is Fumiko Inoue, widow of mechanic Kazuo, now wandering dementia wards but apparently mobile. Questioned, she sobs. Mitsu wrote address. Told me send candy to teach greedy men a lesson. Mitsuo. Officially. Dead 1999 car accident, case closed. Cold sweat trickles down spines. Was body misidentified. Sneak flashback 1985 rural crematorium. Record shows. S casket closed, corpse burnt beyond recognition after tanker fire. Dental ID waived. Due to complete destruction, Kobayashi reopens file. Chain of custody sloppy. If survived, he might engineer copycat stunt to spring Hiroto by sowing mistrial chaos. Court interlude. Defense moves for mistrial citing juror intimidation. Judge refuses, doubles security, but trial clocks tension tighter. Prosecution day. 15. Digital forensics expert explains Showtime stomp meta of monsterbot tweets, which includes Koshi-do calendar data aligning with birthdays of Glico employees fired for embezzlement 1983. Motive lattice emerges personal grudge smelted with profit drive. Defense rebuttal introduces handwriting specialist claiming typewriter noisen. Original letters mismatched Mizashima's seized Olympia SG type machine. Prosecutor counters with micro imprint from ribbon spool unique to 1984 Glico letter spool found in Mizashima's Nara shed attic insulation. Jury scribbles notes. Outside court July 14th. News drones capture small drone quadcopter dropping. Handful of vintage Morinaga wrappers over courthouse plaza. Crowd screams. Hazmat arrives. Wrappers blank. Drone traced to remote operator using disposable phone near Lake Biwa Monster Playground. CCTV glimpses hooded figure walking with cane could pass for aged Mitsuo. Media christen him Candy Ghost. Closing arguments. Prosecutor. The monster thrived on laughter at law's expense. Today we end the joke. Defense. Cannot time travel jurisdiction. My client's only proven crime. Bad satire with salt. Jury deliberates under watchful cameras. Verdict. Guilty on modern counts. Attempted mass poisoning 2019. Terror finance. Sentence. Life imprisonment eligible. Parole 30 years. Public satisfaction splits. Some want retroactive justice impossible under law. Judge directs lawmakers. Consider extending terrorism statutes. Parliament debates monster clause. Epilogue of chapter. Kobayashi returns to archive. Boxes final files. Notes 1 envelope. Missing Izaki's cassette tape of carnival music. Security cam shows janitor cart rolling past shelf. Inside trash bag tape gone. Kobayashi rushes hallway, finds nothing but faint scent of machine oil. At night, a new bought tweet. Sweet pups missed a face. Carnival plays on. 2021 will taste sour. Tanaka stares at screen, realizes Sha hash equals E's employee number. Monster network still breathing. In Chapter 7, we chase the alleged dead chemist across crematorium. Logs uncover a secret lab hiding in abandoned candy factory, and learn why a formula codenamed Project Bittersmile could still place cyanide on shelves worldwide unless old hunters and new algorithms unite. Chapter 7, Project Bittersmile, August 2022. Weeks after the verdict, the bot tweet that mocked police sweet pups missed a face. Carnival plays on, fans embers into flame. Osaka Cyber Unit uses the embedded SHA hash employee ID 361Me to retrieve a long cold personnel file from Glico archives. Mitsuo. Chemical mix technician fired 1982, presumed dead 1999 tanker fire, but a forensic pathologist had noted one anomaly in that cremation file. The corpse's femur displayed a healed fracture. Never had. At the time, no one cared. Explosion victims were difficult to ID. Detective Fujimoto and analyst Howie Tanaka drive to the rural crematorium where was burned. The aging director admits the 1999 paperwork was handled by a substitute clerk paid in cash, name on receipt. Hamada Yere, same string hidden in Mizushima's unsent email. Aoi's AI cross-links the alias to an abandoned candy factory in Wakayama Prefecture, once owned by a Glico subcontractor. Electricity still flows, paid by an offshore fund called Bittersmile Limited. Midnight raid. Overgrown ivy parts to reveal corroded roller conveyors and vats that once mixed caramel. Deep inside, SWAT finds a hidden clean room lit by sterile LEDs. Shelves hold reagent drums of sodium cyanide, potassium ferricyanide, and a novel compound labeled KCNS cyanide, micro-encapsulated in sugar spheres. Lab notebooks detail Project Bittersmile formulas, candy gummies whose gelatin wall dissolves only after hours, delaying poison detection. Surveillance DVR shows footage up to 3 days old. A gaunt man, late 50s, surgical mask, limp, scar across thumb matches. 1981 machinery accident. Heat sensors find no one, now he fled. But on stainless table lies a wax-sealed envelope. Inside, a single pocky stick coated half in chocolate, half in gray powder, plus letter typed on decades-old word processor ribbon. Sweet pups, this is only a sample. Next batch, 50 kilo. We wanted apology, got profits blocked. Now we seek symphony cyanide choir. Count the days, 2 + 1 + 1 equals. Monster with 21 faces. The professor chemists analyze powder cyanide with time-release glaze derived from alginate caps, undetectable until stomach acid melts coat. Volume on shelves equals 5 kilograms, potential to dose 50,000 snacks. The formula's sophistication suggests graduate-level chemistry. University records show studied chemical engineering night classes 1974-76, tutored by assistant professor Kazuo Inoue, the mechanic who moonlighted teaching reactor maintenance. Their conspiracy stretches back farther than police imagined. An engineer-chemist duo augmented by a trader, Mizashima, who financed operations. Aoi's machine learning combs air ticket manifests. Alias Hamada Yere booked ferry cabin to Bizen, September 1st. Exit lane cameras catch limp gate boarding. Korea National Police say Yere checked into motel near port, then vanished toward coastal industrial zone. Interpol red notice FLIs. Task Force codename upgrades to Bitter Seal objective, contain formula before it crosses borders. Flashback montage 1984 notebook found in factory safe, penciled lines in childish katakana list corporate names, profit margins, consumer trust. Percentages. Margin note beside Glico, too proud must kneel, beside Morinaga, copycat for leverage. Final page, goal not ransom, but balance sheet blood. When fear matches sugar intake, game ends, back to 2020, Yamashita's successor. Superintendent Matsuda authorizes unprecedented joint-up with Korean Coast Guard. They raid a derelict sweet potato warehouse outside Bizen. Inside, portable candy coating drum, cyanide drums. Pallets of unlabeled wafer sticks identical to those planned for Osaka Expo. A CCTV monitor shows real-time feed of Osaka's, still fixated on hometown. But again he slips away, secret smuggling tunnel to shipping container. Yard container already loaded on freighter MV Sweet Serpent bound for Manila. Chase at Japanese destroyer escorts with Philippine Navy intercept Sweet Serpent 48 nautical miles south of Jeju. Boarding party opens container, only stuffed penguin. Mascots filled with sand and note, 2 slow pups. Aoi notices container's manifest number ends with 211. Add the numbers in Professor's Clue 2 + 1 + 1 4. She realizes next target date might be October 4, 2020, aligning with the Tokyo World Snack Summit, rescheduled after pandemic delay. Tokyo mobilizes every summit vendor's supply chain audited. Meanwhile, Aoi uses botnet's telemetry to predict next tweet drop pattern, suggests Professor now piggybacks on Tor exit nodes in Manila. Philippine authorities swarm internet. Finally locate terminal still displaying haiku draft. CCTV reveals. Limping out minutes before agents arrive, boarding jeepney to port. He seems always a step ahead, still playful but aging. Kobayashi, watching pursuit live, mutters, "Foxes run till legs give out," he bets. Will return to birthplace to close loop. Suita City Festival Sweets of Showa occurs October. 21 numbers sacred to monster mythos. Task force splits focus. Secure Tokyo Summit for OCT. Rig Suita Festival for 21 October at Summit. No incident occurs. Maybe Professor adjusting. October 21, 2020 Suita Festival Children in Yukata queue for retro candy stalls. Undercover officers, chem sensors, drones overhead. 21:21 p.m. A blackout strikes central grid, timed hacking of substation. Crowd murmurs, emergency lighting flickers. Drone infrared locks onto single heat source moving toward candy apple stand. Limping, SWAT converges. Suspect raises hands empty. No merely homeless veteran hired as diversion paid in cash, but inside candy apple stall, officers seize cooler loaded with Project Bittersmile gummies disguised as fruit jellies. Timer cap triggers release 22 o'clock. Catastrophe averted by 9 minutes. Fingerprints on cooler parts match. 5 days later. S body washes ashore at Kobe Harbor, cyanide ampule clenched in teeth. Autopsy reveals heart condition. Maybe suicide or forced quiet. Pocket holds micro SD. Video manifesto. I am last professor. We asked for apology, got only yen. Sweet shops dipped again. CEOs richer. So we spiced candy with death. Hero lost. Kazuo lost. I lose. Police puppies, you win paper victory. But remember, corporations feed sugar. We fed truth. Bittersmile never ends. Public half relieved, half haunted. Yet Trade Ministry pushes tough tampering laws. Food chem plants audited monthly. Cyberbot Sentinel program gets permanent budget. Monsters upgrade defenses even in death. Chapter 8 Aftertaste of a Nation, November 2021. 1 year later, Suita City unveils a memorial garden where the blackout nearly birthed tragedy. Bronze plaque reads, "In memory of safety preserved, may vigilance be sweeter than fear." Former Glico president Katsuhisa Izaki, now 86, attends, leaning on cane. Beside him, Morinaga execs place white lilies. No brand logos allowed today. Is for citizens, not corporations. Drums of tamper-evident packaging bills past diet in 2020. Every candy now bears quadruple seals, QR track and trace codes, AI scanners at logistic hubs. Children unwrap snacks again without parents trembling. Inside National Police Agency Archive, Kobayashi and Aoi Tanaka seal one last evidence box. Final contents: Project Bittersmile formula, botnet source code, battered Edogawa Rampo paperback. With margin scrawl, "We are all monsters" when sugar coats truth. Box labeled Glico-Morinaga Case closed 2021. Aoi asks, "Truly closed?" Kobayashi smiles, tired. Mysteries never close. They cool, but fear loses flavor if truth sits long enough. He retires at last. News cycle now fixates on crypto hacks, climate crises. Yet occasionally, a vintage candy wrapper sells on Darknet for Bitcoin, rumor claiming authentic monster relic. AI Sentinels flag but risk deemed low. At dusk, Izaki walks riverside path where kidnappers once fled. He tastes autumn air, faint chestnut sweetness from festival stalls. He murmurs to nobody, monster lost but economy of fear thrived. Our duty is to make kindness trend. He leaves Pokébox today's tamper-proof version on bench with note, eat without fear. Jogger later enjoys snack, posts on social media, hashtag real story candy piece. Post goes viral, the monster with 21 faces dissolved, one dead in harbor, one alive in prison, one in unmarked grave. Yet the faces we still confront are those mirrored in every cellophane crinkle, reminders that trust can be poisoned as easily as chocolate, that vigilance must evolve with sweetness, and that sometimes the heroes are algorithms watching digital. Night and retirees who refuse surrender. Japan continues to savor candy, but beneath each wrapper, safety seals whisper, real story learned. If this real story of corporate terror, clandestine chemistry, and relentless investigation gripped, you pass the tale along. Share the video, subscribe for more long-form mysteries unwrapped layer by layer, and tap the bell so you never miss our next bite of history's hidden horrors. Tell us below which unanswered thread intrigued you most: the Fox-eyed escape artist, the Project Bittersmile formula, or the botnet of haiku. Your comment might inspire our next deep dive. Subscribe to Crazy Real Horror Stories. Together, let's keep every wrapper honest and every mystery illuminated.